Hello, YouTube. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing really well. We're on YouTube and we're also on Instagram. So I have you double streaming. It's my first time. So hello. Hello everyone on Instagram. Hello Shika. Hello Hilcon. Hello One the Moster. Hello. Let's just wait till there's some few people online, because there's a few people just jumping on to the YouTube. Hello. I originally had this at 6 p.m., but honestly, as soon as I felt the energy of like, okay, I'm in a space of channeling, I just come on live. Hey, Jessica, how's it going? Let me know if you're channeling on YouTube in the comments. I'm really excited for today's topic and just to share with you guys because there's so much that I have to share with you. First of all, thank you for your patience with me. Originally, we are going to do this at 10 p.m., 10 a.m. 10 a.m. That's a little late. 10 a.m. Eastern time today. And because of obviously the construction that just happened to start at exactly 10 a.m., I just saw this as a sign. And to be honest with you, I am so happy that it ended up getting postponed to right now. And the reason why I'm so excited is because I'm at this frequency that I actually got more messages waiting. And that just goes to show, right? Like when you have something planned, maybe it's best for you to just wait. Hey, Gabby. Maybe it's just best for you to just wait, right? So, again, if you want to either tune in Instagram, YouTube, whatever is best, I will say that on YouTube it will be saved, Instagram it will be not. So, you're on here, you're live, you're feeling the vibes. If not, that's okay too. Okay, so I want to go right into our time together. I thought of this idea to do Wisdom Wednesdays, and I talked about this a little bit. So, Wisdom Wednesdays came up for me because when I landed here back, the biggest channel, hey Danielle, the biggest thing that came up for me was I wanted to bring more. I wanted to bring more resources to you guys, but also get to know you because we're now at 62K on YouTube. That's crazy. Our audience has grown quite a bit, and I want to keep that connection as our family grows. Like, it's very important to me to have this connection, to feel connected with you all. So I love to offer just like free space through mentoring, through channeling. So this is an opportunity for anyone to have access to that, and that's what we're going to be doing today, deep diving. I'm not going to make Wisdom Wednesdays every single Wednesday. It's just whenever I feel called to and I feel the energy to, I'll jump on here. I'll jump online and I'll talk to you guys and we'll connect. But if it's not a vibe, it's not a vibe, and we just move on. And you guys will still have videos every Mondays and Fridays here on the YouTube channel. If it's your first time meeting me, I'm Chica. I'm your conscious mentor. And my purpose is to be a medicine woman, to be a priestess, to be a mentor, to be a shamanic healer. I tap into those spaces and I help those with their healing and their shadow work. That is my intention. That is what you get here. So if that interests you, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on YouTube. I have an abundance of videos there to help everyone have access to free shadow work and healing. So that's a bit about me. If you like that, make sure, like I said, you follow along, share with your friends, maybe share this live if you'd like. Today I'm going over a big download, and this download happened yesterday, actually not yesterday, a few days ago. And I did a little live about it, but then it kind of rippled into more information. And I was like, I really don't think the live was long enough. And I need to make this like a full transmission. So grab your tea, grab your snacks. Anyone's a snacker. Grab your snacks, grab your stuff, because we're going to go deep today. We're going to be tapping into the topic of relationships. So we're going to be talking about relationship with yourself, relationship with the people around you, the relationships that end, the relationships that begin, the relationship of an ending happening in our life. This could be a relationship of like, is there something in your life that is ending right now? A lot of us are in this retrograde energy. And even if you aren't in the retrograde and you're watching the replay, if you're watching replay, do hashtag replay for all those on YouTube. Just letting me know that you're here. Okay. If it's your first live with me, put a rainbow emoji. If you're the OG flam, put a heart emoji. And if you're here and you're watching this, just put your favorite emoji. So, Chantal, so nice to meet you, Joel. Hello, Joel. Chanel, hello, hello, hello. Everyone on here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get into it. So, relationships, I wanted to kind of break this in because I'm going to talk about a story I shared yesterday, and I'm going to bring you guys deep into feeling it in your being. This is alignment right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want everyone, every single one of everyone here, live or watching the replay, I want you to check in with me. So, this is something I do with all my mentoring, and I want to do it here. I want to bring it here so you're really going deep with me. You're feeling into it. It's personal. So, I want you out of 10, 10 being you're present, you're here, you're in the vibe, you're in the energy, one being you're the worst you've ever felt. I want you to let me know out of 10, what are you feeling? And maybe one word that is explaining what you're feeling right now as you step into this portal at the beginning. One word. That's all. If you can share that, that gives me an idea of just energetically where we're at. I already feel and have this kind of knowing, but I want you to affirm what you're feeling. I want you to affirm and check in so you're consciously present here. So 5, overthinking. Chanel says 5, confused. 2, depression. I'm sending you love and ease to you, knowing that that is not forever. We're going to talk about that. Hopefully that goes up today. 8 is faith. Amazing. 7, shedding, purging. All of these are amazing. Every single one of them. Wait, what's the number about? So 10 being that you're present, you're here, and 1 being the worst you've ever felt. So like that range just for you to know, and one word that explains what you're feeling right now. 6 is uncertainty, 7, frustrated. Okay. Feeling all the emotions here, overwhelmed, 2, emotionally erratic and exhausted. Sending you ease and love, Brittany. Joelle, 10, here. Yes. 7, overwhelmed. 2 and 7, feeling that. So you could be physically a 2, you could be emotionally a 7. It doesn't, we can just do it. There's no wrong answer. It's whatever way that you want to express how you're feeling. Okay, so we kind of have an idea of what everyone's feeling. Some of us are feeling present, some of us are feeling in this energy, and some of us are feeling sad. And as I said that, Gabby said sadness, 5. So 2, confused. So that energy. And for those who are jumping on, it's just that out of 10, what you feeling, and one word that explains that, but present. I love that. So I'm going to have you walk through this journey with me. And I want you to feel and connect with that word that you have today as we go into how to manifest beautiful relationships. That's the topic we're going into. But before we get into the secrets of manifestation and everything, we need to get into the clearing of the mind and tuning into the emotion of your body. Okay. So I want to bring you to envision a relationship that has recently ended. Okay, or a relationship that has brought you unclarity or perhaps confusion or overwhelmingness or sadness or anything, or maybe happiness. Maybe you're happy that that relationship has ended and you feel lighter. That could be another emotion. I want you to just share a little bit of that and just tuning into that, into your body, tune into that space. And I want you to feel that energy of that person. Okay. And I want you to bring yourself to that conversation you had before the relationship ended. Okay. So bringing you back to that space, or back to that space where the relationship was the last time you saw that person. It was the last time that they were here in this earth realm. Maybe they passed away. Maybe that's what you're in, the space of loss, space of grieving. Bringing yourself back to the motion of perhaps confusion. Like, why are we ending this relationship? I thought everything was great. What happened? You know? Or it could be this space of freedom. Oh, finally, this is a celebration. I finally left that relationship and I am so happy and so grateful. It is insane. Whatever emotion, even if I didn't listen to emotion, I want you to invite that in right now. Okay. And I want you to just really tuning into that space, maybe tuning into the conversation, how it played out, the emotions you felt in that present moment when that loss, when that disconnection of this human physical plane was there. Okay. And I'm going to read you a download that came up that really brought this how to manifest beautiful relationships and sharing the three secrets with you. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you, but on Instagram here, I'm going to share with you the secrets to having beautiful relationships in your life and allowing that to thrive so you can have an abundant life. And you cannot feel like you're sad, feel overwhelmed, feel like you're shedding, feel like you're constantly up and down and you don't really know what's going on in relationships and you're wondering why they're leaving and they're going and you're going through shedding and you feel alone even when you're around people. Anyone feel that? You ever been in a group and you feel alone and you don't know why and you're around hundreds of people or a few people or a lot of people and they're like, well, there's no way you can be alone. You know, has anyone ever told you this? There's no way that you can be alone because you're around people. Yes, yes, yes. We're having assertiveness. I believe everyone has felt that at one point of their life, right? So I want you to close down your eyes if you can. Obviously, if you're driving, do not do that. But if you are in a space to be present, and I just want you to be as present as you can as I read these words, and I want you to feel it. I want you to tune into it. I want you to take in this energy, okay? What if we are meant to end our time with these relationships to find more connection to the universe and divine? What if we are meant to hold ourselves in this space to create more connection with the divine and to receive something bigger? So I want to share this with you because this was so deep, and I'm going to read it one more time and I want you to see what you tune into. What if we are meant to end our time with the relationship that we're currently ending or we have ended to find more connection to the universe, divine, and in doing that ourselves? What if we are meant to hold ourselves in that space of whatever emotion is there? And when we hold ourselves in that space, we find a connection with that divine and we find clarity of peace and joy. So I'm going to invite you to what you're feeling right now when you feel that. What if having that person, whatever way that that relationship was, whether it was for your highest good or not, maybe having that person be in your life was that peace that you needed in order for you to get the clarity you need for what is next. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that everyone's here to experience. We're just here to have moments, right? We're here to see your first baby ever experience their first words. You're here to have your first love and then break up with that first love and have another love and break up and have another love and then eventually have the love and you're like, "What is this? I've never felt this before." We're here to have this connection of something deeper that allows us to bring clarity in ourselves. So when we look at the question like how to manifest beautiful relationships, we need to start by understanding what is the relationships we're currently in. And that includes the ones that we're holding on to from the past. Because what that does on a psychological level is we're still believing that we're still in that relationship. So again, breaking that first part, what if we are meant to end our time with these relationships? We're meant to go through the breakup. We're meant to have that, relationship that didn't treat us right. We're meant to have this experience where we leave the job or we're confused right now. We don't even know what we're doing. We're like, I don't know. I've been manifesting. I've been meditating. I've been doing the affirmation sheet. I've been doing all the things and it's still not working. I don't know. I really don't know what's next. I'm frustrated. I don't want to look at anything. I don't want to meditate anymore. I don't want to have any. I'm just what's next? I'm done. I'm putting the towel in. That's it. We're done. But what happens is when we finish that and we go back to new relationships and we start dating again and we start going out there and meeting new friends, we find the same archetype. And we see this a lot, you know? How many of us have been in a situation, and I'll just go back to the dating explanation because this is coming in, maybe it's the field of what's channeling here. How many of us have dated someone, broke up with them, and dated someone else, and you could have sworn you're like, oh my gosh, it's the same issue. They're not committing. I'm kind of in limbo. I don't know what's going on. It's the same thing. How many of us have been in that situation? I think a lot of us. If you have, put a thumbs up in the comments. How many of us have been in that situation where it seems like things are all aligned in the relationship and things are all aligned in everything, and then all of a sudden you go whoop, something's off. Okay. You find out the person cheats on you, you're angry, you're mad, you're frustrated, you're going through all these emotions, right? You find out that the person really is fell out of love with you, or they were never in love with you. But what happens is when we have that time to understand that that ending was the best thing that could have happened to us, that feeling of loss, that feeling, that grief, that feeling of whatever emotion was there, we have now found something deeper to connect to. Because through that revisiting of that emotion, we can now tap in as conscious beings to another layer of a lesson that we wouldn't have known if we didn't experience it. I'll give you an example. When I was younger, and I shared this story before, so for some of you who are new, maybe this is your first time, but I'm going to share it again because this is really relatable to the way we behave in relationships, and we cut ourselves from connection to everything because we've lost trust and faith in ourselves. So, my little 4-year-old self went to school. And when I was young, I loved school. I loved school. I would cry if I was sick. I was one of those kids. I don't know if anyone else was like those kids. I was kind of weird, but I would cry if I was sick. I was like, "Oh my god, I want to go to school. I really want to go to school." Right? And my mom would just look at me and be like, "No, you're staying home. You're staying home." Right? She just was like, "No, no, you're staying home." Right? And the funny thing is I loved going to school. But school was a place that really brought something that a lot of you have heard of called sisterhood wounds. Okay. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it. If you are, let me know. I'm reading the comments right now. Resonates so much. I'm happy it resonates. I'm going to answer some questions at the end, loves. So when we're tuning into that, space, right? And I really didn't enjoy being at school. The kids bullied me. I didn't want to be at school. A lot of the times they were mean. They played with my hair. Why is your hair different? They played with my hair. We play with your bubbles all the time. And even though I went through that experience, I still love school. It was a really interesting phenomenon. I just loved it. But as I grew older, from that experience, majority of the people who bullied me and had that experience were women, were girls. So I made that belief that girls are mean, and I'm just going to go and play with the boys in the sandbox with their cars and their trucks because they're easier and they don't bully me, and at least they won't play with my hair and I can be dirty and whatever, and like it was fun. So most of my childhood was of tomboy. I was really not connected to the feminine at all, which we're going to go into. So this is important. Not connected. I decided to disconnect my connection to the feminine. When we tap into the feminine, what is that? Emotion. What is feminine? Feminine is emotion, it's creativity, it's sensuality, it's feeling ourselves, it's allowing ourselves to feel worthy, it's our chi energy, it's creation. That is the sacral, that's the hara, that is the womb, right? So when we tune into that energy, right, I blocked that off at a young age, didn't feel comfortable. So fast forward to my teen years. For me, the way that I coped with the connect with not connecting and consistently disconnecting what was natural to me, disconnecting from the divine, disconnecting from the universe, disconnecting from my emotions, was when there was an issue and someone was too much for me, bye, I'm gone. I would ghost, I would leave. I don't know if anyone else was like that. Have you ever had a situation was too much? You're like, I'm done. I'm done. You like walk, I'm done. Like I walk away. Let me know by putting a thumbs up down below. I'm done. We're done. I was like that. But there was so much, again, emotion that I didn't want to deal with. It's too much. No, I'm done. Rather just walk away. This is too much. We've done this to our mother. We've done this to our sisters. We've done this to other women or feminine. It doesn't have to be only gender oriented. Feminine, it's neutral. Feminine archetypes. Because I have seen also other beings that are in that feminine archetype. Same thing as well. Right? So fast forward to only about a couple days ago, a really amazing situation that happened. And I share this on here. I'm going to share this again from the space of relationships. I have been going through this big initiation to teach. I've been sharing that with you guys. Initiation to finally bring more and to help space holders and healers even in a deeper way. And through that, I've been really taking time to listen because Spirit's been telling me to listen, listen, listen. So for me, it's just normal that if you don't talk to a friend, you'll catch up with them later and it's like nothing happened. That's like me. Like if we don't see each other for a while, you meet me, it's like we just saw each other yesterday, even though it's been 2 years we have ever seen each other, right? That's the vibe. But because I was going through so many shifts in myself, in my healing, in my shadow work, and we see this a lot with people who've done a lot of work, especially right now, as the consciousness is becoming so advanced and more people are becoming more conscious, the work is happening quicker. There's like no time restraint because we're in such a deep divine and the new earth, the new beings that are coming in, anyone who has had children recently, they're coming in with new gifts we've never even seen on this earth, right? And we have to nurture that. But with that, expands our connection with divine and connection with relationships. So with this strong portal, right? It's almost like if you have a small cup and you're pouring water into it and it fills up quickly, right? And if you have a small cup and you're pouring the water pressure, it's kind of moving it, and then eventually it tips over because it's overwhelmed, right? So if you're trying to disconnect the connection and the collective, as well as the work that you've been doing has been so expansive, of course, your relationships are going to call for more connection within yourself. And it's going to mirror more triggers of how you're not connecting to yourself, how you've lost faith in yourself, how you've lost yourself, or your soul has not felt safe in its being. It's going to be powerful. Now, if you take that cup and you push it away and you put a big bucket and you pour pressure and water, oh, it's going to take in all that water, all of that energy, all of those messages. And the analogy of the water is that channeled messages, it's our intuition, it's our needs, it's our boundaries. So we are constantly given this water that's pouring through our crown, but we're not listening to it. So, when we're talking about how to manifest a beautiful relationship, we have to understand that there are ways that we've been taught through our past to cope with things, right? And the ways that we've been taught to cope and disconnect, thinking that disconnecting eventually it will go away, that is a misconception. And that is something that we have to repattern. So, going back to that story with this situation, I have this amazing, beautiful soul, right? I'm reading Gabby's message. That's so crazy because I pulled the water card from the mystical shaman oracle. I love it yesterday. Emotions, water. So that's why I'm taking that analogy, tapping in with the water, right? So knowing that water will go and it will go where it needs to, it will flow. But if there is a resistance, eventually it's going to overflow. Eventually the pressure is going to, it's just a matter of time till that pressure tips that cup, that smaller cup. But if you open yourself because you expanded, you've done the shadow work, you've done the healing, of course you're going to need a bigger bucket. You can't put all of this energy that you're now tapping into in this small cup. You can't put all of those new boundaries that you're now realizing your younger self didn't have the chance. Oh, by the way, I want to give you this letter. Here are my boundaries. Your younger self comes to you. Hey, I just want to give you this note. These are the boundaries that I'm now confident to do. Thanks for doing the shadow work. Thanks for doing the healing. I'm finally confident to do this. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Great. Awesome. Goes back to typing. Hey, how's it going? Shadow self. How's it going? You're like, oh, okay. I finally figured out that that trauma that I had, oh, yeah. So there were a lot of boundaries that I felt uncomfortable about because I felt my body was still feeling unsafe. Oh, and also, that whole like issue with the masculine and being, that not feeling comfortable with the masculine and wanting to control everything. Yeah, that goes back to my dad. Yeah, because he wasn't there. So we're going to heal that. And I brought these boundaries to you. Okay, great. Thank you, Shadow Self. Thank you. Other Shadow Self comes. Hey, remember that time when we were in high school and we really wanted to be smaller? Yeah, that's not working for us. So I'm going to put these boundaries for you here. Okay, great. Awesome. Here's the boundary. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. Great. Okay. Ooh, there's a lot of notes. How am I going to put this all in this like, whoa, this is a lot. Okay, great. Awesome. It's almost like that TikTok where they put the water and it's like, oh, a little bit your partner, a little bit of water, a little, and then there's the last bucket. Like that last bucket is all the boundaries that you put into yourself, right? But if you don't have room for it, it's just going to overflow, and it's going to fall out. And it's going to make all of that shadow work and healing that you've done to help you connect deeper. People are asking, Shika, how do I connect with divine? How do I connect with my guides? How do I connect with my ancestors? This is the thing. How are you manifesting a relationship with yourself? How are you opening yourself to a vessel? Or is your cup, are you trying to put something that doesn't fit in the cup? Or are you actually making it bigger and owning that space? That's the question. Are you owning your space of the relationship you have with your new self and all the other versions of yourself? Because I guarantee that if you're trying to manifest a relationship, there is a part of yourself that you're not listening to. And if there's a part of yourself that you're not listening to, that part of yourself is waiting, just waiting for you to answer, waiting for you to give them the attention. They're like, hello. They're in the waiting room. Hello. Has this ever happened to you? You go to an appointment, you're early, and then someone else comes in and they get in first, and you just feel this anger. I was here first. Wow, how dare them? You're still in the waiting room, and all the other, like the versions of you that you love, you're like, hey, come in. I got you some cacao, got you some tea. You're good. Come in. But on the other hand, there is another part of yourself waiting in the waiting room saying, hey, why haven't you let me in? Hello. Hi. Oh, yeah, sorry. Sit down. We're going to be with you in a minute. An hour. We're going to be with you in a minute. 2 years. Oh, we're going to be with you in a minute. In a minute, in a minute, in a minute. And then before you know it, it's been like, how long? It's been ages. So of course you're younger. It's like, okay, in a minute, sit down. Okay, like a little bit. Just stay here. Just stay here. It's funny, right? That we don't allow ourselves, our parts of ourselves are waiting for us to have this divine connection, but yet we want to connect with a partner and we're wondering why they're not showing up. We want our friends to be there for us, but we're wondering why they're not showing up when we haven't expressed it our needs. When we haven't seen that our younger self had this experience with a friendship and couldn't trust that person because they did XYZ. And then we're putting all this pressure on ourselves and that person to show up. And we're wondering, why doesn't anyone stick around? Why am I here? I don't understand. Because there's a part of you in that waiting room that you haven't been listening to. And until you listen to that part of you, whoo, they're going to be sitting there all day and they're going to be waiting for you to answer. My question to you, are you willing to answer that part of you and see what are their needs and expressing that, even if that means disappointing, that word is used a lot in society and we don't understanding. Disappointment means that you've chosen something else. Disappointment means that you've decided to put your energy somewhere else. Disappointment meant that you finally allowed yourself to say, hey, look, I'm choosing me. So we've understood, again, in our society, this is all reprogramming. We think disappointment is bad. Disappointment means just failure. Failure means loss. Loss means we've gotten a deeper connection of where we need to go after that, who we need to date after that. Now, when we talk about relationships and connection of divine, I'm going to go into death because that's another thing that's coming up for the message. How do you manifest a beautiful relationship with yourself and the connection if that relationship ends because the person is transitioning? Because I know that's a theme right now. And as I'm channeling this, the queen has recently passed away. Maybe someone, a loved one, has passed away. Maybe you're going through a loss of something, or someone close to you, or someone that you know has gone through, they're going through transition, or they've been through transition, or that's coming in for you right now. What if that person shifting is the ability for you to connect deeper with them on a different dimension? What if that person leaving is actually telling you, we were your earth angel, and now we're creating space for a relationship for you? I'll give you an example because this is both a human and also an animal example, and I can't wait to share this. I'm sending you love, Alexis. Recently, I want to share this beautiful story because I feel like stories and animation helps, brings entertainment and also brings the lesson deeper. I have a friend of mine, and recently they are getting married, and I'm really excited for them, her and her partner. And it was interesting leading up to the engagement and literally the marriage preparation and everything. Her dog all of a sudden started getting sick. And as her dog got sick, it was kind of interesting because as I saw this, I was already starting to communicate with the spirit of the dog, which is really interesting to me. And sometimes I have it when the person's on earth and sometimes not. But I'm noticing the deeper I get into this work, I've been tapping more into my mediumship and working medium work with my clients and on here or just in general. Mediumship is so powerful. And as she got closer to the wedding, it was almost like her dog was getting more and more sick. And for her, she really wanted her dog to be there. And literally less than a month before the wedding, her dog passes away. They have to put the dog down because the dog is not doing well and they think this is the best situation for their dog. So I'm going to take that situation with a person as well. If you don't resonate with that, maybe taking that with a person, someone who's sick and deciding that they don't want to continue anymore. They're ready to transition. When they transition, that is an opportunity. And the way I see it is they are here for you for something deeper, to help you with something. And once their mission's done, that means they either leave this relationship. And for some souls, that is part of their life mission before they leave. So if you're going through loss, I want you to ask yourself, how would that person, how would that being want you to be right now? And how have they supported you? How have they deepened your relationship with yourself? And in doing that, deepen your relationship around you. How have they been your earth angel? Because the more we can see that, we can see grief in a space of opening of our heart. It brings our heart to pain, and through there, it creates a new garden. But if we stay in that pain and we stay with the weeds in the garden and we don't allow ourselves to prepare and seed it, and we just sit there and wonder, why isn't the garden growing? Why isn't my heart opening? Why am I not getting over this grief? Why am I not getting over this breakup? Why am I not getting over this passing? How can we allow ourselves to also weep the joy? Even in the times when we're grieving someone, there's always something we can be happy for. But the thing is we allow ourselves to not be more than one emotion. We allow ourselves to not be connected to more things. And what relationships do is that connection with the universe and that connection with ourself and creating space is when we go through grief and loss, it creates space, it cleans up something. And in return, that soul gives you something in return. So again, I really want you to tune into that because this is such a beautiful, beautiful medicine that I really want you to tune into if you're resonating with loss and relationships. Okay. I want to go into the process and the steps and the downloads of the steps of how to manifest a beautiful relationship. You should save this message. Thanks. Yeah, I'll save it on YouTube. Thanks so much, Star. The reason. Thank you. I love you. I love you all so much. Let me know what's hitting at home. Please let me know in the comments. I love interaction. This is good. It's good for you because it hits more. Please share. It's so important. How do we listen? I love how everything's hitting for everyone. That's amazing. Let's go before I go into the process of that. I want to answer Chanel's question because it's really related to what I'm talking about. Shika, can this also apply to family members who are toxic? If you can like just explain a little bit more on that, that would be great, just to give us more of a guidance. I just wanted some who is positive, someone who is positive, some positivity, 100%. There is a lot of positivity as long as we allow ourselves to feel also what is coming up. And that's been a big thing on relationships as well, is how our relationship of our emotions. And I'm going to go into that in the 3 secrets a little bit more. But I'm really happy that this is hitting home for everyone. This is really, really powerful. Okay, so now let's go into manifesting, how to manifest a beautiful relationship. Let's kind of move towards the 3 secrets. So, when tapping into that download, like what if we were meant to end our time with relationships and the relationships we have endings? Because even when we find a soulmate, what happens? Eventually, we leave this land, right? We're on this path of experience of journeying until we take our last breath of our soul, which is our last breath on this earth. And until then, we continue to connect and understand how our soul has earth experiences, right? So the first thing is we connect with someone experiencing the great mystery of the universe. And when we connect with someone, that's what we're doing. We don't know what they like. We don't know their boundaries. You know, what happens when you go on a date, you're nervous, right? Because you don't know who the person is. Bring yourself back to your date. Even if you've been married to someone for 30, 40 years, I want you to go back to that first date, right? When you're sitting on that date and you're sitting in that chair, and maybe you're there and you're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm so excited. The person's coming. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. It's like the butterflies, right? It's that feeling that you get, that I just feel it in my heart right now. Like if I'm taking me back to me walking down the street downtown, and I don't know, at the time I didn't know that was going to be my partner, my soulmate, and I'm walking and the sun, I could feel the sun on my face on a summer's day, and I can see everyone on their patios, and I'm going to this restaurant for the first time to meet my now partner, who's my soulmate, right? So I'm walking here and I'm nervous and I'm going through things and I'm like, oh, I didn't even want to go on this date. My friend made me go on this date, blah, 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 blah. I'm going through all this, right? So then I end up walking and then I see my now partner and I'm just like, and it's just this like butterflies, which is one of the reasons why I love butterflies. They're my favorite, one of my favorite beings on this earth, butterflies. And you feel the butterflies and you feel the heart rate and you don't know, because you don't know what that connection will hold. You don't know where the mystery is. And that's the excitement. That's the desire that we all as humans want. Desire. When we want beautiful relationships, we need to have desire in it. So I want you to ask yourself, in your relationship, what do you desire? Do you desire being held? Do you desire being listened to? Do you desire being able to talk about anything without a filter? Do you desire having fun? Do you desire having someone to go to the yoga class with you? Do you desire having a gym buddy? Like, what are your desires if you are someone who's trying to anchor into beautiful relationships? Okay. What is that desire? Chanel, I'm going to answer in a bit. Thanks, love, for the explanation. So, tuning into that, when we tap into desire, we don't even know how far that desire can go. And when we go into desire, desire is that great mystery, right? It's like getting on a plane for the first time and you're about to go on holiday and you've never been to this location before. And you're so excited and you're sitting there and the pilot says, okay, we're about to welcome to your flight to blah 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 blah, and it's going to be a how many hour flight and and just sit down and hold on tight, okay? We're gonna have the air attendants come in and make sure everyone's seated, make sure your seatbelt's on, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I'm leaving home and I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I don't even know where it is. Right? It's a desire. It's like, oh, it's exciting. It's the mystery. Where is that? And that's a great indicator to know, is the relationship hit? Is the relationship aligned? Maybe this is an opportunity for you to express communicate, use your throat chakra. What is your desire with your relationship with your partner? What is your desire with your relationship with a friend? They are not mind readers as much as we're empaths, and as tapped in as we are, we're humans and we're babies and we don't know everything. So we need to be explained things sometimes. So allowing yourself to remember that connecting with someone is the great mystery. And in that great mystery, we're learning. We're little babies crawling into a different relationship and connection. And through that connection, as I know, universe is everything, divine is everything. So when we think of it that way, that person is also the universe, right? So that person's going to mirror things in ourselves. They're going to be teachers, they're going to be students to us, both ways, right? So how is that person teaching something? I love how it's hitting home for everyone. Teaching you in that space, right? So you're in that you're on that plane and you're on the land, you're on the landway, and you're about to take off, and they're like, "Okay, take off, take off." And you're like, whew, okay, here we go. Desire. I'm going to wherever it is, Italy, Bora Bora, France, wherever I'm going, feeling it. Oh my gosh, okay, the plane's going up. Woo, okay, oh, it's happening. I'm traveling. Oh, so exciting, right? Huge, huge. Desire. What do you desire in your relationships? And this goes with manifesting anything. No desire, because desire is what? Emotions. Emotions is what? Connection. Connection is what? Why we're here. We try to complicate things and try to like analyze things, but it's really just like, we're here to connect. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's it. We're just here to connect and have fun. That's all. Yeah, we have money and bills. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Cool. Why are you focusing and worrying on it? It's not going to help you. What about the relationships? You have such a deep channeling in yourself to connect to everything and all things you want. You can tap into emotion, you can tap into experience. What is your desire? And if you're in a space watching this, you're like, I'm so down right now, I can't even think of anything. I want you to look and try to find one light of desire. It could be that I just want to smile right now. I want to take 30 seconds to smile while I'm listening to Shika. That's it. Notice how you feel. You just need one shift of desire and see what that happens. I'm not asking you to ignore your emotions. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to find happiness even when you're feeling that sadness, even when you're feeling that pain. How can I access it? How can I tap into it? How can I tune into it? I felt my song bowl just sing while I'm talking to you. How can I tune into that? Right? I desire a friend that is genuine, understanding, family oriented, loves to travel. Yes. Tap in your desires in the comments, please. What do you desire in your relationships? Because again, it's talking, it's hitting, but when you put that intention, it's going to be so much better. So, what are you desiring? Write that down in the comments. Tune into that. Feel that. Feeling that. I love how you're feeling it. I'm feeling like I'm in a full portal right now. The second part of how to manifest a beautiful relationship, they offer us a gift of connection and lessons. I'm going to go to a story, and this is something that is so big, and I share this a little bit. Safeness. I love that. What else are you desiring? Tune into it. I desire more reciprocity. Thank you. So just having someone just reciprocate what you're having energetically. I love that. I want you to tune in for a little bit. My younger self, I'm going to share a little story here. Okay. But before I share the story, I want you to tune in to, is there someone you can think of that you feel that relationship was useless? You're like, waste of time. Do not like it. I'm done. Done with relationships. That's it. I want you to put a green heart emoji if that is you. You're like, that ex that decided to just like break up with me through text, like done. Done, 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 done. That boss that didn't give me my time off of work when I told them that I wanted this time off for vacation, done, 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 done. Like I'm done, done. That my parents that literally did not understand me and wanted me to go to school and didn't understand my dreams to be a singer and to be an artist and to be a creative, and I'm done, a healer, done, 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 done. We've all been there. We've all been there. I've been there. We've all been there, right? So they offer us gifts of connection and lessons, but we don't see that until we allow ourselves to connect to the emotion of pain, to the emotion of whatever is coming up for us. I'm reading all of your messages, loves. Okay, so romance and a soulmate, manifesting the beauty of a thing, desire, more genuine, mask off. Yes, truth. Tap into truth. Yes, 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 yes. I love that. If there's anything else you're desiring in a relationship, put that in the comments. Um, Friends, family, and so on, who are honest, genuine, understanding, respectful, boundaries, one who is open to experience in you, desire a friend who is considers more judgment, who cares about the feeling, who is authentic. Yes. Desire environments of honors, my sacred routines. Yes, I'm meditating, give me my space to tune into that energy, to tune into my practices. Claim it, claim that space. I desire to be in a relationship that accepts the spiritual abilities and without looking at me like something is wrong with me. Oh, there's so much healing in that. There's so much. That's for another message, but thank you, Chanel, for sharing that. That is where, what are we afraid of being seen as? How are we not being seen within ourselves? I desire genuine relationships, security, respect, and authenticity. Okay. We're going to go a little bit deeper with this mentoring. So let's go into offering that connection. Okay. Growing up, my little younger self, I remember that my dad was always angry, always angry. He was always angry. Okay. You would breathe. He'd be like, oh, okay. Like he was always, always, always angry. And it was really hard to connect with him. It was almost like if I just played with my dolls quietly, he was like, too loud. And the TV was louder than I was. So I was really confused. He reacted a lot because he disconnected his heart and allowed anger from whatever he was going through to be that main focus, to be that main energy, to be that main medicine that he shared when he didn't have things in the way, in the control of his hands. So as I did this healing and this shadow work, I learned that not only did I have the same anger my dad had, but that I also had my heart closed off as much as he did in a different way. So, the sharing that I say is the gift that our relationships give are two things. One, it gives us an opportunity for us to mirror and to see the mirror of ourselves, to see who we are. It gives us the opportunity and the gift for us to be able to connect to something that we felt we've lost. Maybe that's an emotion of happiness. Maybe that's belonging. Maybe that's being. Same with my dad. Yeah, same thing, Danielle. Same thing. I think we've all had experiences with a parent maybe that wasn't approachable. Emotionally, they were going through their own things and they didn't know. They weren't in the healing. We're in a time where healing is so welcomed. It's so different. We don't have witches burning at the state. We don't have people hiding their gifts. We can be free and open if we want to, of course. So, knowing that the gift is an opportunity to be ready for what is next, that's the second part. I'll give you an example. Because I was so disconnected from my feminine emotions, because I was told, stop crying, you cry too much. Um, oh my God, why are you crying? You have it so good. You have your food. You go to a good school. You don't. Why are you crying? Bah! All these things, yelling, 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 as parents do when they're under stress. It's not their fault. They're trying their best. They're trying their best. But there is that responsibility of reaction, right? So we have to remember, because I got that disconnect of the feminine, I was running wounded masculine, okay? No emotion, not in a space, protecting my feminine, which automatically is what? Structure. Structure is what? Masculine. So when we feel unsafe in our emotions, we go right into masculine. And when that masculine is used constantly, it gets tired. Talk about Libra energy balance that we're going into the new moon, just in general, right? So what happens? We get disconnected. Our masculine is now tired, you know? It's like almost if you take an apple and you throw it down, it gets bruised, throw it down again, it gets bruised, throw it down again, bruised. It's still an apple, but it's gotten a few bruises because you've hit it a few times and it's been, hit a little bit, it's been moved a little bit, it's been tossed a little bit, it's been all the things, right? It's been there for a while. And eventually, the bruising of the apple is a representation of the wounded masculine. You're not actually doing the structure and tuning into the alignment of structure in a healthy way. You're doing it out of protection, out of fear of whatever that could happen in that relationship, and think that you're protecting yourself. But really, what you're doing is you're disconnecting yourself from your intuition, universe, and guidance in yourself. You're disconnecting yourself from your inner compass. And that we need the feminine to act first and initiate, and then we tap into the masculine. Initiation feminine, then masculine. So again, me going through the abusive relationships and partners, the PTSD from the nervous system, constantly overwhelmed with all the emotions I was not letting go. What happened is I went through those experiences, but the moment I decided to allow my feminine to just start to open up, just opening that box up, oh, what's in here? What's in there? Let me just look into it. Oh, cool. There's this globe that I had when I was 5 years old. Cool. Okay. 2 tickets to my first movie. Cute. Okay. Oh, a love letter to the first person I loved. Amazing. Oh my God. Oh, my grandpa who passed away. We loved each other so much. It's a treasure chest of emotions and memories. All of these experiences are memories, and they are opportunities to initiate a part of us that we can see deeper through this relationship, whether that is claiming your boundaries, claiming that you are allowed to be safe in your emotions, claiming that you are deserving of love, deserving of receiving, whatever that may be. I want you to ask yourself at this point, when you were in those trials and tribulations of these toxic relationships, what was your soul calling? What did your soul want? What was it not getting? And the beautiful thing is, you went through that experience because you're now ready to receive the right relationship. You're now ready because now you're in a space where you're aligned and you feel good. And you know that, you've chosen not to be a victim of your own pain. You've chosen that you're worthy of something deeper. You've chosen to change the direction you want to go to. Again, the gift is an opportunity to be ready for the next partner, the next gift, the next purpose, the next journey, the next job, the gift of truth. And I want you to ask yourself through everything, what was the gift that you received on the last one, the last time you cleared that soul contract and you said, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready, universe. Okay, here's my final thesis. Here it is. I didn't think I was worthy enough. Got it. This is the final thesis. My mom made me feel guilty because, she didn't have what she had. She had to struggle. So that's that's why I just didn't want to have the emotions. It was weakness. I didn't want to let it out. Now I'm letting it out. I'm crying. I can't stop crying. And I'm accepting it. I'm here. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect, but I'm here. Oh, okay. Universe gets your thesis. Wow. Okay. Okay, guys, bring in the package, the ultimate relationship. Soulmate walks in, looking amazing and a little bit more. They have everything plus 100 on your list and on your friendship or on whatever your boss, whatever you're manifesting, a good boss, a good relationship, a good soulmate, a good twin flame. You're like, oh my God, it's like better than I expected. It's like when you're on Christmas holiday or birthday, whatever you celebrate, and you're sitting there and you're about to get a gift, right? And you're just sitting there and you're like, ah, you're just excited. Your kid finally gets to open the present. It's so exciting. And you're the kid that gets the biggest present, of course, right? And you pick up the biggest present. You're like, oh, it's a toy that I always wanted. Oh my God, it's amazing. And then you open the next one. You're like, it's another toy I got. Oh my God, this is the X5 blah 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 780. It's that new truck that it's amazing. You're freaking out. You're like, oh my God, I really wanted this so much. I finally get it. And then the desire just keeps compound. And you're just in such gratitude. You're like, thank you so much, mom and dad. You're like the best in the whole world. Thank you, friend. You're the best. You guys all teamed up to give me this awesome gift. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Whatever it is, right? So know that wherever you are and you are manifesting beautiful relationships, that you have to ask yourself, what is the gift or the lesson, or maybe both, that the relationships I've had before I'm on this journey of choosing what I'm worthy of? What is the gift and the lesson, and claim it? It's one thing to know it and be like, oh, yeah, okay, abusive relationship. Got to avoid the annoying, person, the F boy that just keeps going. Okay, yeah, okay. It's one thing to know that. It's another thing to put it into practice and ask yourself, now that I know this lesson, what am I going to do next? How am I going to claim it deeper? Ask yourself that question. Because again, it's like boot camp. Before we manifest what we want and before we get what we need to, and even if we're not manifesting as part of our soul contract, the universe is going to put us a few lists like, hey, by the way, so before we get the package, I need you to sign here. I need you to agree that you're gonna do those boundaries. Remember those boundaries, your higher self, your shadow self, and your inner child. They upgraded the order, and they said they just want to make sure that they feel safe in these ways. Okay, sign. Oh yeah, definitely sign. And based on your past relationships, we're going to cut these cords, but we're also going to energetically just say we're done with that. We're agreeing to commit to that and those boundaries. Yep, sign. Okay. And remember that job that you pretended that you just wanted to stay because of money, and really it just burnt you out, and now your health is got worse, and now you're finally learning it's more than that. Okay, I need you to sign here and sign. Okay, sign. Okay, sign. Are we almost done? And then okay, so we have another one here, that this situation that happened with your brother and your sister when you were young and you were arguing with them, and they were making fun of you, and I think because you wanted to marry a prince or something. Remember that part? Yeah, we just need you to have a forgiveness. Hopono. Sign. Okay, that's the journey. Until we claim and sign those gifts and say, okay, no, I actually consciously am aware of the lesson and the gift here. And I'm now going to take it into action for the next relationship. And I'm also noticing what is being mirrored to me. That is so key. What is being mirrored to me in this lesson? Because again, what we attract lives within us in some way, whether it's ancestrally, in our lineage, whatever it is, it's in us some way. It's a pattern. And there is another pattern that is activating it, causing us to attract it. But again, how can we allow ourselves to receive it fully, consciously, not passively, not on your phone being like, yeah, universe sign, yeah, 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 okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, shadow, yeah, yeah. Yeah, what were you saying again? Never mind. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, can you wait 1 second? I just gotta be, oh, hey, yeah, we're gonna hang. Spirit's not gonna care. They're not gonna bring the they're gonna bring you the same package. You're gonna never mind. Put it back into storage. We're gonna bring that backup we had so they can get this lesson going. Okay, that's what it's like until we receive it. So again, ask yourself. This is the shadow work for you to work on. What is the connection and the lessons? What is the gift that I have here? Is it the gift that I'm becoming, having better boundaries so my soulmate can just love me and just like, ooh, I feel so good. Oh, thank you, giving me dinner and like making me feel just all those butterflies. Is it the feeling that you're laughing with your family and you never thought you would ever, 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 ever take a family vacation with your whole family? Like, there's no way I'm gonna be having a family vacation. Like, no, we don't get along like that. We're not like that. Like, one day with my mom and I'm done. One day with my I'm done. Or could this be a gift and this friction that you have in the relationship with your family, an opportunity for you to clear something, to tap into something, to reprogram something, to learn a lesson, to receive a gift, to tell a new story, to be a beacon of that ancestral healing for yourself. And in doing that, it ripples in your life. Rewrite the story. Stop being a victim to the stories that you had and a victim to the person and their baggage. Big message from spirit. Stop being a victim to it because that is not going to help us. It doesn't help any of us. Tap into that. I want to go into the next one. I'm going deep into channeling today. Let me know what's resonating. We create space through the end to connect deeper to ourselves and our journey. There is a portal to access, and that portal is the numbing and the reprogramming through the experience of loss. So now that we've had this relationship, we've decided to have this friendship, we've decided to be with this partner, we're dating them, we're with them, we're starting this new job, we're starting to know their colleagues, all this stuff, and we come to this point of ending. And this ending could be like, you get let go. This ending could be the person leaves. This ending could be someone left this earth life, whatever it is. There's a breakup, whatever it is, right? And now you're like, I just want a beautiful relationship. Why does this always happen to me? I don't understand. It always happens to me. So you're at that point. Okay. So bring yourself back to that point. Okay. Now what we're going to reprogram here. We create space through the ending to connect a deeper to ourselves and our journey. There is a portal that is accessing here. So when we have that ending, what is universe and divine, that connection? When we disconnect, what is that manifestation? Anyone guessing on that? The manifestation that is there is that spirit, universe, whatever you want to connect with, is tuning you into something deeper. And it's when we disconnect that cord, we're reconnecting anew. We're never losing something. We're only replacing it with something more aligned to our energy. So I'm going to repeat that again. When there's an ending of a relationship, the gift, the lesson that is there for us there is to have a deeper connection with ourselves. And when we have a deeper connection with ourselves, We are then ready to take a new lesson to the next relationship to connect with all. Remember what I said. What if we are meant to end our time with relationships and people in our life to find more connection to universe divine and our own being and our soul? What if you are meant to hold ourselves in a space of whatever emotion without any judgment, any like bad, good, whatever it is, categorizing? What if we're meant to do that to create a deeper connection? What if? What if? But you're not allowing yourself to do that because you're pissed off and you're like, why are you breaking up with me? I thought we are going to have children together and we're going to have a life together and all of these things. And now we're here. And I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't understand. I can't understand this. And your partner's looking at you being like, it's over. Like, it's over. You're crying. You're like, oh my God, why? Why did you pass away? Why did you leave us? I don't understand. Don't understand. And their soul's like, why are you crying? I'm done here. I have more work on the other side. It's okay. Feel this grief. Feel it. Let it open your heart, but don't allow it to be all of you. And that's what happens. We get so consumed by the emotion that we allow it to be all of us. But again, that is such a portal. Going back to that analogy of the small cup of water, and we're pouring water, and eventually the pressure is so strong it tips over. But when we end a relationship, what's happening is that small cup is being removed and we're given a big bucket. And that bigger bucket, maybe a bowl or maybe something a little bit bigger. And that water is going in and it's allowing that pressure. It's taking in that pressure of the water and the emotions and the feeling and the grief and everything that's coming in. It's just going, it's coming, it's coming. And you're trying to prevent it. You're like, oh, I just want to put it in the small cup. Let me just get the small cup. And Spirit's like, no, we need the bowl. We need more emotions because once these emotions pass through your vessel, and your space in your body is going to be so much bigger, and you're going to be able to hold your soulmate, and you're closer to your soulmate, and you're closer to the dream job, and you're closer to this, and you're closer to the best friends, and you're closer to all of that, right? But you're like, no, I want the cup. I want the small cup. Make me small, make me small. That's what you're doing. When we are manifesting beautiful relationships, we have to ask ourselves, how are we making ourselves small by not connecting with our emotions? Our emotions are our vessel. Our emotions are our desire. Our emotion is the great mystery and the butterflies. When we're walking towards that first date, or we're going into our first job, or we're going into an interview, change is about to happen. And when we enter and we create that connection with that relationship is to help you change, but also help them change if they choose to. And when the ending of that relationship occurs, you are giving yourself permission and them permission to grow and to be something bigger and to access something bigger and to reclaim a piece. Another ingredient that's going to help you flourish in your relationships and find deeper meaning relationships. So again, this is a space where we're accessing a portal. When we have an ending, a loss, we are becoming nothing and everything at the same time. We are ending something, but then there's the excitement of not knowing, and it goes back to the great mystery. But instead, we allow ourselves to hold on to that emotion. And how we shift from that emotion is we go into giving gratitude instead of focusing on just being all of the lower vibration. What if I can spend this moment right now letting myself to cry, not preventing it, letting the water fall into that big bucket and just splashing and just like crying all day, just feeling it and not preventing my younger self to just have permission to cry and anger and have a tantrum and let the anger and just tune into that rawness that I want to be in, instead of allowing myself to suppress that. Because when I suppress that, I'm suppressing the relationship with my emotions. And when I suppress my relationship with my emotions, I am blocking a new relationship or a deeper relationship in my life. I am blocking clarity. I am blocking a vessel that is wanting to come deeper into me. And until I allow that to open up, it's just going to stay there. Ooh. How is that feeling in your body? Let's do a little check-in. How is everyone feeling out of 10? 10 being present, feeling fire. Maybe you feel lower after this. That's okay. 1 being the lowest you felt. What are we feeling? Give me one word that's fueling in your body as you listen to this. And one number and what you're feeling. Number and word. What are you feeling right now on this wisdom? What's tapping into your body? What's igniting in your body? Tears, emotions, celebrating that. Yes. 10. Woo! Feeling that. So, yeah, a number that you're feeling, the number and the word that's coming up for you as you ignite this energy. 9, connection. 10, aware. 10s, we're feeling 10s. Deep, non attachment. I love that. Non attachment means ready to connect to something deeper and bigger. Clarity, confirmation. Yes. I like to hear this. This is great. This is a celebration of in this session. This is amazing. 10, peaceful. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Sharing, sharing, sharing. Okay, let's go into a little bit more tapping into that. So giving gratitude instead of focusing on the sadness. I talked about that already. And how can you be everything and nothing at the same time? I'm going to bring you to a story, and I want you to bring yourself emotionally to the downest you've ever felt. The downest you've ever felt. And the perfect time to do this is now, because you're in this high, or you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling tender right now in our session right now. You're feeling tender. Okay. So now we're going to go into that lowest frequency. We're just going to tap, we're going to visit that, because I want you to visit both to see a difference so you can practice this. So as you're moving your energy and you're tuning into your energy, and for me, I go back to the bathroom 8, 9 years ago. I can barely even remember. Time is so together for me. When I was with my roommate and we were living together, and I was trying to wash off the trauma and wash off the pain after being assaulted. And I remember I stayed in the shower for a week, maybe for 30 minutes to an hour every day, just trying to wash it off. Maybe I'll feel better. Maybe the water will help me. And crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And one day I just felt like I didn't want to be here anymore. It's like, man, no one cares about me. No one loves me. No one, I don't want to be here. Just don't want to be here. Why? Why? What's the point? You ever feel that? You ever feel a moment where you just don't want to be here? You're like, "Ah, done. There's no point. Whatever. Whatever. You're just like done. And in that moment, a moment when I felt I was so low, no one cared. And I just didn't even have the energy to do anything, didn't have the energy to eat, didn't have the energy to get out. Besides work out and try to clear my mind. I would work out 3 times a day just to try to detach, keep busy. I remember standing there and sitting there. What's the point? And this voice inside of me said, "You're not done yet." And in this point, it was so interesting because I felt like nothing. I felt like absolutely nothing. I was like, I feel useless. I feel unworthy. I feel all the things you can think of that you would say to yourself. But at the same time, I felt so connected to everything. It felt overwhelming. And that's what brought me to a space where I was on my knees and I was like, I just don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to be in pain anymore. But the thing we have to understand when we're talking about manifesting relationships is we feel alone because we don't want to connect with anyone, because we don't even have the energy to connect. And when I talk about the meaning of relations as connection until our last breath, At that point, we don't want anything. We don't want to even go through it. We're so exhausted. We're so drained. But I want to invite you to tuning into that last breath is not yet. And there's still so much that you have to connect to. And if you feel like you've lost something, how can you feel that loss? Because there's so much beauty and power there. When you are in that space where you're like, don't want to be here and I'm done. I don't want to be here. I want you to ask yourself in that time, what if you left right now? Why can't you do something right now? What is the fear that's preventing you from living again in this space? And knowing that, would that be fair to yourself that you wouldn't get to do all these things? Would that be fair to your soul to not be able to say this story and to have the energy to say, you know what, I was there too. I was at the point when I was disconnecting because I felt everything and nothing at the same time. But what people don't tell you is that is the most powerful position that anyone can be in. Anyone. Because if you can feel everything and nothing at the same time, you can choose what you want. What do you mean? I'm depressed, I'm sad, I have all these emotions. My bank account keep looking at it and all these things. My partner just broke up with me. Just had someone pass away. All these. Okay. But while you're losing and you're missing and you're lost of all these things, remember what I mentioned. When an ending happens, it's an opportunity to connect with something deeper. When you are on that space and you don't want to be here, that is the biggest blessing for you because that's calling you to connect to the deepest part of your soul, the deepest part of your being, if you choose to. And when you decide to claim it and say, what am I going to do now? You are in the most powerful position because then you can create the relationship with yourself on a new page, on a new book. And you can decide, wow, I'm here. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm ready to shift it. But it's a decision and it's a choice. Remember that small cup and the water pouring and it's falling off in that big bucket that you could, that's one, universe is like, just use the big bucket. No, small. I want to be small. I want to be in pain. I want to feel. I want to focus on all this sadness and all this stuff. I'd rather just hold on to all of the sadness. Just leave me alone. Universe is like, okay, but there's more space. We can be sad and happy. We can be like going through this depression, but we can also be like, okay, there's more. There's more to this. But you're still focusing. And that is something that we have to have energetic responsibility for. Right? So, again, when we're in those spaces, when we're disconnecting, we are in the most powerful position to become something greater, even when we don't see it. We are in the midst of the great mystery. So I want you to sit, if you're feeling this energy, you're feeling at a loss, you're feeling a sadness, you're feeling like everyone's leaving you, your relationships are not as strong as they used to be, you're confused, you don't even know who you are, you're like, oh, I thought did all this work and I thought it was for the best of for me, and now look where I am. I did all this for nothing. Change that. You did all this to be something greater. You did all this because you're worthier than that. And your soul has brought you to your knees of gratitude. And when it brings you to the knees of gratitude, it's asking you to feel every pain in your body, because when you feel every pain, you can decide in that moment what you need to do and what are your desires. You can get ignited out of that space from a desire space. But until you do that, it's going to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I'm going to shift that even more. It's not about being positive. It's about being positive while feeling the other things. That's what it's really about. It's about feeling this sadness. Remember, everything and nothing. It's about feeling the unworthiness, feeling all of that, and then feeling liberated of where you want to go. That's really what it is. We have a lot of people who are just constantly listening to affirmations, doing the moon rituals, all those things. But are you actually tuning into feeling both, or are you suppressing that emotion? Are you trying to just get over it? Get over it, get over it, get over it. Or are you just trying to not be busy with it? You're tired of crying. You're tired. You can't suppress something. It's like telling, you know, a child stop crying or a baby to stop crying when they're feeling everything. That's not fair. You let them cry. But yeah, it's annoying. Well, it's annoying me and I don't like it. Okay, yeah, but it's not about you. Why are you focusing on it? The child wants to cry. They're getting to feel they're feeling. Why do we numb them in that way? So again, feeling everything and nothing allows us to unnumb and unprogram what we're meant to do. So then we can be ready for the relationships that we are calling in and tapping into that desire again. Until we do that, we're going to be stuck. Okay. Whew, big portal. I'm going to end this portal because I'm feeling I'm feeling like I'm bringing you guys deep. So there's a lot to think about. Let's go into the three secrets. So now that we've gone into the breaking down and where we're at in those three, four spaces, and you've connected with that, I'm going to go into the three secrets of how to manifest beautiful relationships. The first ingredient in our cake is balance our masculine and feminine, the mother and mothering. Ever have a relationship where you're planning everything? You're like, okay, we're gonna go to this restaurant. Did everyone say yes? Okay, you're in the chat. Oh, okay. Hey, Many, did you respond? Hey, Lynn. Hello, hi, Lynn. You didn't respond yet. Are you coming? I need a book. How many of you are the mothers? Put a hand emoji if you're like that. You're always the mother of the family. You're always the mother. You're always the mother of like in your group. You're always making sure, like, you go out in the night, you're making sure everyone's home properly. You got an Uber, you got a taxi. Okay, you're good. You're good. Everyone's good. Okay. I love that. I love that you're in the portal. So, Michelle, I'm so happy you're here, everyone. Yeah, so we're all been there. Okay, mothering. Let's go into that. Mothering is a sign, over mothering, over controlling is a sign of the wounded masculine. And the wounded masculine means that until you step out of that control, out of that painting out like how you want that person to be, what's going to happen? That person's going to come in and be like, "Mommy, you gonna make dinner? Mommy, gonna book that reservation? Mommy, you're gonna do this. Mommy, you're gonna okay, mama. If you tie a kid's shoe all the time and you never teach them, they're going to constantly be like, "Mom, can you tie my shoes? Mom, can you tie my shoes? Mom, can you tie my shoes? Oh, so when we're talking about healthy, beautiful relationships, we need to come and bring that responsibility and say the difference of mothering. And this is the same for businesses too. Anyone have a business? This is for you too. Hi, did you? Oh, okay, I'm just checking in. Are you okay? Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, okay. Constantly checking if they're okay, going over time with your sessions, constantly making sure that they're paying. That is the wounded masculine. That is fear of loss. And when we're fear of loss, where do we go to? We block an open of a bigger portal and bigger relationships and better relationships coming into our life. That's really what we're doing. We're asking universe, hey. So I love mothering. I love taking care of this person, this person, this person, this person. So forget about being held. I got it. Who taught you that you have to get it all the time and you don't have to ask for help? There is a conditioning there. There's a patterning there. And I go through all this in my mentoring. I work with people tapping into that because this is the biggest thing I see. My partner is just not understanding me. I don't feel comfortable doing my rituals around them. Okay. So, how are you supposed to do this healing and be in your truth? Well, I'm still in my truth. Like my friends know, and like some of my family members know, but not everyone. Okay. So, so let me get this straight. You have a partner who is your soulmate, who they're supposed to reflect each other, but someone that you feel so comfortable with. But yet, this is a big part of your practice, and they're not seeing it. Yeah, I think they're not ready. They just don't understand. Okay. So you're mothering even the way that you want people to see you? Not really. Like, I just like, that's what you're doing. That's what you're tapping into. So again, the mothering is the masculine. When we tap into feminine, let's go into feminine. What's that? The mother. When we look at a mother, what do we feel? The nurturing, the love, the presence, the feeling, the connection of the mother. Like, oh, good hug. Some of you must be like, oh, okay, like no, mom and I do not do that. Like we have a bad relationship, nothing like that. Okay, why is that? She was just always on edges, always super overprotective, always wanted more, like constantly, always there. Probably not even there sometimes, for some of you. Mom wasn't there, you know. Okay. So that's a disconnection of your feminine. In order to be in beautiful relationships, and how we create and cultivate beautiful relationships is expressing our emotions even when it's uncomfortable, because when we express our emotions uncomfortably, you know what we're doing? We're giving that person also permission to be vulnerable, and in that space we're creating a clear path. When we have conflict, and this was something I learned from an indigenous elder recently, First Nations elder, and what I learned was that a lot of us in this world, when we have a conflict, when there's road rage, when we get into argument, well, I say this and I say that, and this is how it's going to be, and this is the situation, right? No one opens a space and says, okay, this is what I need. These are my emotions. This is how I feel. No one does that. What we do is we go right into attack. We go right into protecting our emotions and not having to explain ourselves. I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to give you any explanation. Okay. So you're wrong, right? No, no, no. I'm right because of this. That's masculine going into it. So for us to have beautiful relationships is allowing ourselves to be seen as vulnerable. And we're lucky with the new earth that we're tapping into and the new world that we're tapping into. People are more emotionally intelligent. And when I mean emotionally intelligent, it means that you're knowing your emotions more, and you're also being mindful of how to express and communicate that. So that's the biggest thing. It's balancing, mothering from a space of protection, from a space of not wanting to exercise our emotions, and also either being a space of emotions, or maybe even tapping into that emotions where we're like, okay, I don't want to share my emotions, or I don't want to share my boundaries. Masculine boundaries, these are my boundaries, these are my rules. Feminine emotions, this is what I'm feeling. So we need to know what we're feeling and what is triggering us to express our boundaries and to express our needs. Until we do that, we are still in this like limbo, and we're going to continue to have the relationships that don't work out and all the things. But until we do that, we're going to shift it. The second part is build a deeper relationship with our emotions. And that goes even deeper. I talked about that a little bit with masculine and feminine, balancing that, balancing structure, balancing creation, balancing confidence, sensuality, balancing those things in our relationship, allowing them to weave in each other in the space. Feminine is the lower chakra, root, sacral. What is the masculine? Heart chakra. So if you have a wounded masculine, ask yourself, how am I not opening my heart to receive in relationships? If you're mothering a lot, how am I not opening my heart to receive help, to receive support? Where does that belief come from? Feminine in relationships, a great question of mothering in nature. How do I, in the space, feel unsafe in my emotions? I was told not to cry. I was told not to be angry. I was told to, where does that come from? Heart. So we move into when we can get to know our emotions, we can then create and feel comfortable to say our needs. But until we are told otherwise, it stays there. I wrote this example and I think it's great. Okay. You can either have a friends with benefits or you can have a committed relationship. Which one is it? Maybe deep down in your soul, you want a committed relationship, but you're like, I'm not worthy of it. And every person I've dated has not been into it. So I'm just going to go for the friends with benefits. But down in your soul, you're like, I really want it. Like you see your partner, your friends with their cute little like coupley things. You're like, oh, that's so cute. I want that. But no, I'm going to be with my friends with benefits. Yeah, we're just seeing each other. Nothing is serious. Let's just keep it on the DL, you know? Or we can, maybe want that committed or maybe not. That is the explanation here. It's knowing that our emotions are the blueprint of what we need in this present moment. Our emotion is the ability for us to pour that in that bucket, like that analogy, pouring it in the bucket, going from being this small cup and putting a lot of pressure of emotions and trying to hold it in and keep it all in, or have the bucket and just be like, I'm going to let the tsunami do what it needs to do and let the water flow. And in doing that, after all that water, I have all this water to move through so I can understand and create space. And when I empty that bucket of water, now I have an empty bucket and look at all the space, look at all the needs, all of the things I want to be held in, all of the spaces that I want to hold space for. And it's whatever you want. It doesn't have to be what I'm sharing. This is just an example, right? So I want you, if you're really connecting with practicing deeper relationship with emotion, ask yourself, what emotion do I feel uncomfortable having people see? What emotion am I uncomfortable having people see? I'm going to leave you with that. The last ingredient with these three secrets is that intuitive communication of our needs and all emotions, learning how to communicate your needs. The crying baby versus the ability to share the experience of the truth, right? You have your child, you have your niece, you have your nephew, you have a little kid in front of you, you have a family member. They're crying, they're stomping their feet. They're not speaking. You're like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm like trying to get okay, explain. Yeah, 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 okay. So at that point, whatever emotion that child's having, it's triggering you. Or it's making you realize something. And that's why I say when people have kids, it's actually a rebirth of yourself and your own shadow work, because that kid is in such a high consciousness of truth and getting to know the world. It's like everything that we weren't able to feel safe to get to know in our emotions and the relationship with ourselves and the relationship with our parents, they're bringing that up. And if you're not willing to see that, it can be very, very triggering having a child. And that's why we have the mother wound. Then the mother tries to put things on the kid. Father wound too. The father tries to put things on the kid. That's not fair. Own your healing. Own what's here. Because when you can own it, then you stop thinking everyone's working against you and that you have something wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. But what's wrong is that you think that there is. And you isolate yourself, or you isolate that part of yourself and disconnect that cord of your being, of your soul that's dropping in to your being and body. So if a child is crying, what do you do? What are you feeling? Let the child explore their emotions. Where are you feeling it? I invite you to do that next time you are with a child. See the change of the way they are. Even if they can't speak, tuning in and holding that space. And if you can't, expressing that. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. That's so important. So I'm going to leave this here because I hope you guys, we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes here. And I want to leave you guys to take this, to embrace this, and even rewatch this. But before we shift that, before we depart, I want to check in. How is everyone feeling on a 10? Let's close the space. 10 being present, feeling, give me a word. and 1 being the lowest you felt. Okay? Let me know down below. I want to see what you guys are sharing. 10. Amazing. I love it. I'm so happy that you got so much value out of this and that everything's resonating with everyone. That's amazing. Feeling a 10, empowered. I love it. Feeling present. Amazing. Yes, and take this energy with you. Take this energy in your relationship. Notice the first person you interact with. How is the shift of the energy now that you're in this frequency? There's going to be a shift. And whenever you want this expansion and this, you can come into this portal again. It will activate you. And there might be another piece of medicine that's going to hit you. Feeling good, ready, understanding, connected. I love that. Amazing. So I want to share a couple things before we close this space with you guys. The first thing I want to share, like I said, I'm going to do these Wisdom Wednesdays whenever I feel this channel message. So make sure you subscribe and put notifications so you don't miss it. It won't be like, it'll just be like, okay, I need to go. I'm a manifesting generator desire. So for me, if I feel that desire, come on. Like today, we're supposed to be here at 6. I felt it earlier than that. I came here earlier than that. Okay. So it's just dropping into that. So make sure you have the notifications so you don't miss these wisdom spaces and these spaces here. The last couple things I want to share with you guys is I'm so excited. I am hosting a retreat in Quebec in Canada. I've been traveling everywhere, doing my healings, hosting a retreat in Peru, and now I'm bringing it here. So if you are someone who's been wanting to sit in ceremony, wanting to heal, wanting to work with the new moon, I am hosting a Cambo ceremony next weekend, 23rd of September to September 25th. And if you're seeing the replay and it passes, message me for ceremonies because I will be hosting more ceremonies in person. I'm also having a retreat in Costa Rica called the Awaken Healer for healers, for people who are ready to heal. So if you are interested in that, that's going to be going over business. That's going to be a Reiki attunement one. It's going to be going over, what type of archetype are you, tapping into your gifts, protective practices, Cambo ceremonies, working with plant medicine. All of that's going to be included. So if you're interested in that, let me know through Instagram or through my email on my website. The last one is in St. Lucia, December 3rd to the 11th. And this retreat is going to be really, really powerful. I'm so excited. It's going to be tapping into an ancestral retreat. It's called the Remember Retreat, remembering your soul, remembering your lineage, clearing out karmic, debt, ancestral debt that's there. All of that. Will be working with the lands of these beautiful lands here in the Caribbean. So if you are interested in that, please message me on Instagram, again, through the website as well. And the last thing I want to share is I have 2 spots available for September for my one-on-one mentoring, and also 2 spots available for my mentoring on October. So if you're interested in applying, message me. I'm ready to heal on Instagram or through my email as well, through my website, and I can give you all of that information. And the last thing is for all those interested in Reiki. I've been getting a lot of messages. Shika, are you doing Reiki training? Yes, I'm stepping into that space. So if you're interested in being trained in Reiki, I'm a Reiki master in Sakima Yusui. So if you are interested in that, please message me through Instagram again and through my website, and I can give you more information. I'm going to put a waiting list because we're going to do a group soon. And if you are interested, I'm also going to be doing it in Costa Rica as well. So yeah, let me know. So many things, so many good things. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone on YouTube for jumping on. Thank you on Instagram for jumping in whenever you did. I appreciate you. This was such a beautiful, beautiful space. So happy I tapped in and was able to hold space for you all. And again, I hope you have an amazing, 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 amazing day. I want to close it here on YouTube as well. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with friends. Come back to this portal if you feel like you want to access this energy again. And I love you so much. So, so much. Thank you. Can't wait to read your comments and tune into all of the divine messages you get. Remember that you are a connection to all divine in yourself. and tune into that, and all emotions of you is welcome. Love you. Aho. Bye.